Hello and welcome to Chess Please. Pretty straightforward today. We're just going to play a game of rapid chess. 10 minutes each. No rules. Apart from the standard rules of chess, of course. And we have the black pieces. And then we're going to try against 1d4. We've been playing some ideas with the Benko gambit. The Benko gambit's a lot of fun. And we get a chance to actually show it off here. So when you're facing like this kind of typical Queen's Gambit structure from our opponent, you start with your knight here on f6. And then this is part of the Gambit bit. This is part of the Benoni defense, which is a bit more of a more typical idea or a more typical opening. And then the Benko comes if we get the chance to open up here. From what I can tell, the central idea of the Benko Gambit is basically just to kind of completely gut your queen side, just like open up almost like all three of these files so that you can actually just start to pile on out. Now normally they would push here, so I'm like, do we take here? Like, taking here does seem good. I mean, they bring out the queen, we do this. I think we're fine there, to be honest. So we might have to abort that Benko plan, especially because the knight is covering here anyway. So we'll play the Benko another time. But look into it. It's a lot of fun. Sounds like panko breadcrumbs. So what could go wrong? But for now, I'll just take a little bit of a tempo developing move. So I get to bring my knight out. They've moved their queen twice and had to move it undeveloped, the queen. So I don't think there's too much we really have to worry about at the moment. We're very comfortable. I'm just going to do... okay, what do we want to do here? Here's okay. Part of me is... yeah, I think we might actually go e5 there. e6 is the other one I'm thinking about. And I'm a little bit more comfortable with like a move like e6. I play the Taimanov Sicilian, which has ideas of like opening up here, moving the knight in here, and I actually think that's better because it also locks this square down a little bit better. So just a dainty little e6, if you will. Nothing too adventurous at this stage. And it also allows us to take the sting out of this pin as well. Obviously don't want this to happen too readily, so we're just going to block that off. When we don't play with increment, sometimes I do tend to get a little bit behind on the clock when I'm talking through my moves, so we won't go into too much chapter and verse. We're just going to castle here. But that doesn't mean I shouldn't think about the moves, which is a lesson I've failed to learn many times. Now this is a bit aggressive, don't you think? That seems very aggressive. I kind of just want to kick this bishop out, to be honest. I don't think it's going to be much, like, better. Like, if they take the knight, great. That's wonderful news. If we can put our bishop here, and they've spent so much time getting that bishop there. But either way, like, bishop out here, that's kind of not a great bishop. Bishop out here is not a great bishop. Honestly, what they might do... Okay, they didn't. They took the bishop. We're really happy with this. I'm generally quite satisfied with our start so far. Now, I think I do want to play d5. There's also, like... there's queen here, which will pile on a lot of pressure on this rook. d5 just sort of breaks open the center, given that we're ahead in development. I don't mind that, but it's actually 1, 2, 3. I actually don't think we have the right to play d5 just yet. So let's go a little nuts here, I think. Queen here is also pretty nice. Hits this. Queen there might actually... I might have a preference for that, to be honest. Yeah, I think that's... should be okay. Don't think it blunders anything immediately. This is a little soft. This bishop's useless at the moment. But I'm hoping that we can just create better and other threats elsewhere. we have just rejoined the 1800s after a long time having regressed to the 1700s. Still a pretty ferocious rating, I'll be honest, in terms of what I expected to achieve, based on where we are. So I'm not too devastated. How many do we got? 1, 2, 3, 4, and we've got 1. See, I don't even think we've got any sort of firepower. It's a little sticky. We also got to watch our clock, of course. Here looks pretty beefy, but I feel like our queen could get jostled around a little, and then we'd lose the defender of that knight. I think we're just going to do something pretty slow. It does sort of let them sort themselves out a little, which isn't great. What is a boy to do? This doesn't seem like it's too much of a disaster, and we were kind of spinning our wheels there. Bishop there, I don't mind. I don't mind that so much at all. Now we can try to blockade this pawn. Also hit this knight pretty dangerously. I don't hate that. I don't hate that at all. If we can get rid of this knight, put a bishop here, would be unreal. Yeah, okay. They seem pretty willing to trade off when we want to make that happen, so that's good to know. Queen here could be interesting, / not at all. Okay, now we have some interesting decisions to make. The king is castled. I think we hit this pawn and then just use that hitting of the pawn to cause all sorts of furore in the black position, in the white position, I should say. So nothing as complicated as anything. Just hitting this, coaxing out that perhaps. We really need to sort out our development. We're criminally underdeveloped. Something like this, yeah, I think that's probably just going to be it. Just queen here. Oh wait, they didn't even defend that. Okay, well maybe they haven't. That's okay. That was a missed opportunity. They have also missed the opportunity to defend it again. So never let it be said that we don't take free stuff if you offer it twice. A very Irish thing to do. Pawn was left out there. First time we're like, no, we're fine, don't worry about it. You're all good. Second time we're like, well, if there's a pawn going, like, I'm not going to not have it. So a nice first blood struck there. Okay, let's just sort out the development because I'm tremendously worried about it, if I'm honest. This is okay. If they push here, we can still do this, which is grand. I kind of want to tease that out. Do I? Maybe not. We did anyway. Now this becomes much more of an option. This also actually is a much bigger threat. Maybe could have done that last move. Development is finished. But they've got a nice little attack forming here. King here or here? Basically, I'm worried about this discovery kind of thing. But actually, I don't think I should be. It's fine. En passant, mandatory move, of course. Take here. It's a fully loaded position, I'll tell you that much. There's a whole heap and heck of stuff going on. I don't think that's justified. I don't think they have enough. I think we have to take anyway. I think that's a really seriously risky ploy. A full rook. I don't know, man. You got to prove this to me. That's okay. Like, what do we even want to contemplate here? I feel like this works. Now with the full rook we can start to think about trading down wherever and however we want to. And one way I'm thinking of doing that is taking this knight, bishop takes, take the queen, lose the bishop, row. Okay, let's take here. There's some checks here, but I don't mind those too much. There's actually not a load of checks either. Bishop can block. We're exposed, but I think they've spent way too much money. Yeah, I think bishop block here, and then just I don't buy it. I do not buy it. Knight comes in here, we step here. Okay. That is actually super annoying. And we might have lost the game here. Yep. Turns out they did know what they were doing. Bishop's pinned. Queen can't get there. Okay, I think we're just gonna have to run. We are up 8 points of material, so it's not totally dead in the water. But that was foolish. That's okay. Phew. Okay, I think we're... No, is this mate? That's not mate. Now that was a good attack, but I do think they spent too much money trying to set it up. I wouldn't be surprised if they can finagle a draw here, let's be honest. And honestly, with that kind of sloppiness over here with the bishop and the king, just not seeing the pawn push, that was the move we really missed. I was expecting the knight to come in and was just like, we can just get out of the way, it's fine. Okay, here I do think it's just going to be this. And then I think it's this. I think if they promote now, we've got mate in one. don't see the checks. I think they have to take here. Yeah, okay. Don't mind that. Now, what check do you have here? This is always threatened. They'll probably take here. That's not it. That's okay, but still, say maybe iffy. We're just gonna try and get away here. Just gonna try and run for the hills. There's this sort of shenanigans. I'll take here just to get one last piece there. 28 seconds. We just need one move that's not a check. Actually, we need more now. No, we don't. We're fine. Okay, that's okay. There's trouble. There's definite trouble here. I'm not gonna lie to you. I would never lie to you. Ooh, that is check. Okay, that's fine. This looks interesting. That's going to be checkmate. Ooh! 18 seconds on the clock. A dreadful endgame played. Sloppy. Sloppy as all get out. But we just had enough threats. Opponents spent too much of their money in giving away that rook. Decent attack. Definitely poorly handled by yours truly. But if you give away a rook, you better be fairly certain that's what you want to do. Oof, 77 accuracy. There's been better games, there's been worse. I actually thought that's pretty high based on how he fumbled the bag at the very end. Next keep. So yeah, this is the Benoni. We didn't get into the Benko, unfortunately. The Benko is a whole heap of fun. I would highly recommend it. I want to do a video about it, but nobody ever plays into it. I might have been able to when they didn't take, but I thought when they let us capture their D pawn with our C pawn, I thought that was a-okay with me. Knight in there wasn't great. I think we really needed to develop this bishop a lot quicker. We were saddled with that bishop development for the whole game. But I think our opponent made some strange decisions, but nothing to that pawn was ours for the taking at second time of asking, yada yada yada. This was all fine. Da 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 da. Yeah, the king move. Whoa, wait a minute. Retry this. There was a better move here. Hint, rook here? No. Oh, here. Okay. So they play that. And then they take here. Then we take there. Now the game is over. Yeah. Okay. That was really good. So rather than responding to this nonsense, which we did and we found a way to do it, but this is a beautiful little give back the rook. If they're going to spend a rook cracking open your defenses, you can spend one to nullify their attack. And the problem being is, well, what if they take here? Then we can just take here. With check. It is exactly why that works. Because this all still looks like mate, but we have the initiative. Okay, that is actually ludicrously hard to find. I'm okay with that. And then from there, yeah, there. The computer has us winning all the time here, except here. We draw here. We did give away a perpetual. This was fine. Still drawing. Queen move was brilliant. That was fine. This is okay. Yeah, they needed to be a little bit more clinical with finding the checks. They just gave us room to run out here. And as soon as they did, we had that mating move. Wild enough game. A lot of fun. First time I played kind of a rapid game live on air, as we say. And I had a great time. and we still managed to keep ourselves in the 1800s. Hope you enjoyed that. Recommendation, look up the Benoni. Look up the Benko gambit specifically. It's a whole heap of fun. Maybe we'll get to play it someday. Hope you had a good one and enjoy.